always hear people say seeing is believing. And to be honest, like I'm a Christian. So, God clearly in the Bible and like the book of Hebrews says like belief is not seeing. It doesn't say it like that, but like belief is confidence that God exists, and that's what belief is. Belief is having confidence that something will happen before it happens sometimes, or that God will do it. And you can't see all of that. But I had like this really crazy kind of like bit of revelation when I was preparing my notes for this podcast. What if seeing is believing? That like, and what I said I think is true already, so I'm not reneging on that, but what if for you to believe that God will do it, you need to keep like a meditation before your eyes, or like you need to keep talking about the fact that God will do it? For example, one example, I bring this up because I experienced this with being successful in dating, right? For a lot of people, success is like getting married or whatever. I don't know if that's true for everybody, but for me, in that area of my life, I did not intend to go here. This is not in my notes, but I really wanted to be successful in dating. And for me, that meant finding a man that I could build a life with and I could have kids with, a husband. I wanted a husband, ring on the finger, ladies, you know what I mean? So that was success for me. And for so long, I truly just did not believe that anybody was out there for me for so long. And I had a moment where I just felt like God was saying, you need to believe that I can do it, like that there's someone out there. So I would actually, every time I got discouraged, I would, instead of like confessing a discouraging statement and saying, oh, it'll never happen for me, I stopped doing that. And I even stopped begging God, because his kids don't need to beg him. Like, you can ask him once and he heard you, man. Like, he's a good father. And so I actually started thanking God every time it came up in my mind, or I saw something that triggered a thought, or I got discouraged, or I saw another friend get married. I'm like, what about me? I stopped asking what about me. I said, you know what? Thank you, God. You're going to do it. I'm putting the effort forth. It's going to happen, because faith without works is dead. So I had the works going. I was doing it. And I was also like proclaiming it for so long, and seeing that, hearing that really made me start to believe. So maybe hearing is believing. I mean, the Bible does talk about how like, hearing really does bring about faith. And I think that's like Romans 10:17 or something like that. But anyways, we're not on a preaching stint here, but I do want to bring that to our attention, because Napoleon, who, I don't know if this dude's a Christian or not, but I feel like he could be, because he's preaching he's talking about the same thing, guys. So he's saying you have to put your goal before you and meditate on it daily. So he says, write it down, like I told you in element 1, make it concrete, write it down. And then he wants you to speak it every day before you get going. Speak it. And then he says, actually imagine it. Like, close your eyes and imagine yourself walking that out. Imagine yourself carrying that $40,000. What will you do with it? How will you build the community around you? How will you give back to your family, pay off your debt? What does it look for you to have that goal completed, to be past the finish line? And so he says, visualize it, believe it, imagine yourself there, speak it out loud daily. And he says, it will happen. Now, stop right now. If you're watching on YouTube, I want you to take a moment, leave a comment right now. Is it hard for you to believe you can achieve the desire that you have, or the desires, plural, that you have? Let me know.